Welcome back to Lucky Naresh Physics channel. Students, in this session I am going to discuss about refraction of light through a glass slab. In light, when light ray is traveling from air to glass, what happens? It will refract. Here, when it is traveling from air to glass, it will bend towards the normal. Why? Because it is traveling from air to glass. That means it is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium. When it is coming out, that means it is traveling from glass to air. So while coming out, it is coming from denser medium to rarer medium. That means glass to air. So it will bend away from the normal here. So here, if you observe the diagram, AB is the incident ray, BC is the refracted ray, and CD is the emergent ray. Here, angle ABN1 indicates angle of incidence, that is I1. Angle EBC indicates angle of refraction, that is R1. In other end, angle of incidence is I2, that is angle BCN2, that is I2. While coming out, the angle of emergence is angle FCD, indicates R2, that is angle of emergent. For a glass slab, angle of incidence I1 equal to angle of emergent R2. How it is possible? We will prove now. Look at here. For a glass slab, angle of incidence I1 equal to angle of emergent R2. We will prove it now. When light is traveling from air to glass, we have to calculate refractive index of glass with respect to air. Look at here. Air to glass. We have to calculate refractive index of glass with respect to air. From Snell's law, sin I1 by sin R1. That means refractive index of glass with respect to air, sin I1 by sin R1. Sin I1 by sin R1. This is equation 1. Okay. Then, other end, it is moving from glass to air. Here we have to calculate refractive index of air with respect to glass. That is, see, from glass to air. Glass to air. Refractive index of air with respect to glass, that is sin I2 by sin R2. This is equation 2. Okay. Now I will write this equation 2 in reverse order. That is, if I write refractive index of glass with respect to air, equation 2, I should reverse this. What I will write? I will write sin R2 by sin I2. This is equation 3. Okay. Now I will multiply 2 and 3. Look at here. If I multiply 2 into 3, that implies, that is refractive index of air with respect to glass into refractive index of glass with respect to air, that equal to sin I2 by sin R2 into refractive index of glass with respect to air, that is sin R2 by sin I2. So sin I2 cancel, sin R2 Sin R2 cancel. So what I got? I got that equal to 1 I got. So from that I can write, therefore refractive index of glass with respect to air, that equal to 1 by refractive index of air with respect to glass. Okay. But refractive index of glass with respect to air means, from equation 1, what can I write? I can write sin I1 by sin R1. Look at here. This is equation 4. Now 4 implies refractive index of glass with respect to air means I can write sin I1 by sin R1. Sin I1 by sin R1, that equal to 1 by refractive index of air with respect to glass. That is, from equation 2, if you write means, you have to write its reciprocal. That is sin R2 by sin I2. Look at here. See, if you observe equation 4, in the place of refractive index of glass with respect to air, I substitute equation 1. That is sin I1 by sin R1. Okay. Then 1 by refractive index of air with respect to glass means, from equation 2, if I write this one in reciprocal, I will get sin R2 by sin I2. Here if you observe, here R1 and I2 are interior angles. That means, if you consider these two are transverse, this N1E and N2F are parallel lines, so BC is the transverse. Due to that, R1 and I2 are interior angles, so for transverse condition, interior angles are equal. So here R1 equal to I2. So here R1 equal to I2 means I can cancel this one. See, look at here. Here R1 equal to I2, since alternate interior angles. Okay. Therefore, what can I write? So I can write sin I1 by sin R1 equal to sin R2 by, instead of sin I2 I will write R1 only, since R1 equal to I2. Okay. So this one cancels. So what we got finally? We got sin I1 equal to sin R2. So both sides sin cancel means we got finally I1 equal to R2. That means angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergent. So we proved for a glass slab, angle of incidence equal to angle of emergent. For suppose, if there is no glass slab here, light ray would travel like this. See, look at here. It would travel like this. See, if there is no glass slab, light ray would travel like this. Okay. Because of glass slab, this light ray shifted from its path. See, from here to here. Because of this glass slab, this light ray shifted from its path. So here, the perpendicular distance between extended incident ray and emergent ray is called lateral shift. Look at here. This perpendicular distance. This perpendicular distance is called lateral shift. L. What is lateral shift? See, if there is no glass slab, light ray would travel like this. Because of glass slab, it shifted from here to here. Here, the perpendicular distance between extended incident ray and emergent ray. The perpendicular distance between extended incident ray and emergent ray is called lateral shift. See, this lateral shift depends on angle of incidence I1 and thickness of glass slab and refractive index of the glass slab. That means if angle of incidence is more, lateral shift will be more. If thickness of glass slab is more, lateral shift will be more. And also you can say in terms of refractive index, if the refractive index of glass slab is more, lateral shift will be more. Okay? So here what is lateral shift here? The perpendicular distance between extended incident ray and emergent ray is called lateral shift. LS means what? Lateral shift. So on what factor it depends? How we can increase the lateral shift here? We can increase lateral shift by increasing the angle of incidence, by increasing the thickness of glass slab, and by increasing the refractive index of glass slab. That's about lateral shift. For suppose if you reverse the direction of the path of the ray by keeping one mirror here, light ray will follow the same path. This principle is called principle of reversibility. Look at here. See, for suppose if I kept one mirror here, okay, the light ray will reflect back. So when it reflects back, it will follow the same path. Okay, this principle is called principle of reversibility. What is that? Principle of reversibility. That means if we reverse the direction of the light ray by keeping one mirror here, light ray after incident again it reflects back. Later it will follow the same path. Look at here, it will follow the same path. So here this principle is called principle of reversibility. That means if we reverse the direction of the light ray, again it will follow the same path. This principle is called principle of reversibility. In next session we will do numericals on refractive index. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe and click the bell icon for all notifications. Thank you.